Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of English with Rose. Today, we're going to talk about something that plays a crucial role in our daily lives, but is often overlooked: the art of listening. So in today's episode, we'll dive deep into what listening really means.
That is a great point for us.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what we're going to dive into today using this research that we have.
Yeah.
This whole deep dive is going to be about the art of listening.
Perfect. So let's just jump right in.
Right.
What exactly is listening? I mean, is it just hearing? Are those two things the same?
Well, that is a great question and a perfect place for us to start.
Yeah.
As our research points out for you, there is a significant difference between hearing and listening.
Okay.
Hearing is essentially a passive, natural process.
Okay.
Sounds enter your ears. Your brain registers them.
Right.
It just happens.
Right.
Think about you being in a busy coffee shop.
Well, okay.
You hear all the chatter, the whirring of the espresso machine, the music in the background, maybe
Right.
almost automatically,
It's
right?
just background noise. Yeah.
It really is. Yeah, just background noise.
Yeah. Or when I'm trying to work and there's construction going on outside.
Exactly.
I hear it,
You do.
but I'm definitely not listening to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, listening, on the other hand, is active.
Okay.
It demands focus. It demands you to pay attention and a real effort to understand what is being communicated to you.
So you're engaging with those sounds.
You are.
Yeah.
Particularly the words and their context to extract meaning.
Okay.
So in that same coffee shop scenario, if your friend is sharing something really important with you,
Right.
and you're truly focused on what they're saying, what their body language is saying,
Right.
that's listening in action for you.
Gotcha.
A simple way to think of it is this. Hearing is the physical reception of sound.
Okay.
Listening is the mental work of understanding it.
So it's the difference between the physical act of those sound waves hitting my eardrums and then me doing something with that information.
Yes.
Making sense of it. Yeah.
That is a great way to put it.
Okay, so I was also reading in the research that there are different types of listening.
Yes.
That was kind of a new concept for me.
Yeah.
I hadn't really considered it before.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. What are some of the key ways we listen or could be listening in our daily lives?
Well, it is a useful framework to consider how you engage in all these different situations.
Right.
And our research highlights several types of listening, different ways that we do this.
Right.
First up is active listening,
Okay.
which is probably what most people think of when they consider, good listening.
Right. Okay.
It's characterized by you giving the speaker your complete attention, showing genuine interest, and responding thoughtfully.
Okay.
Essentially, it's about you being fully present in that moment and showing that you are present. Think about it. Your friend is sharing a problem with you.
Okay.
Active listening looks like you nodding along with them, maintaining eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're mirroring their body language a little bit.
Okay.
And then you're asking relevant, thoughtful questions that show that you're engaged
Right. Okay.
and trying to understand their perspective.
So I'm not just letting them talk at me. I'm having a conversation with them.
Exactly.
Okay.
This type of listening, this active engagement, is particularly vital in really deep conversations.
Okay.
During interviews, where you need to glean specific information from someone.
Right.
And in counseling situations where you're trying to create that safe space for the other person.
Okay, so active listening, it's about me being totally there in the moment
Yeah.
and then showing them that I'm there
Yes.
with my body language, with my words. Okay, what about this empathic listening that I read about? It sounded kind of similar, but a little bit different.
Yes. So active listening is focused on you engaging and understanding the message itself.
Okay.
Empathic listening goes a step further,
Okay.
and it emphasizes you understanding the speaker's emotions.
So it's not just what they're saying, it's how they're feeling about what they're saying.
Yes, you're trying to put yourself in their shoes,
Okay.
truly grasp what they're feeling beyond just the words themselves.
So I'm not trying to just solve their problem necessarily. I'm
Yeah.
just acknowledging that they have these feelings
Yeah.
about this thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the example in our research is this. If someone is recounting a really difficult experience to you,
Okay.
an empathic response might be something like, that must have been really tough for you,
Yeah.
rather than you immediately jumping in with solutions or advice.
Right, just acknowledging what they went through.
Yes, the primary focus here is on you validating and acknowledging their emotional state.
Okay, interesting. It's a subtle but crucial difference.
Than just being sympathetic.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What about critical listening? I feel like that one is where I'm really putting on my thinking cap
It is.
when I'm listening to somebody.
Yes, critical listening involves you analyzing and evaluating the information as it's being presented.
Okay.
You're not just accepting everything at face value.
Right.
You're questioning the logic, you're looking for evidence, you're forming your own judgment.
Which checking their sources.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And this is essential for you in academic settings.
Oh, for sure.
When you're evaluating theories or arguments,
Right.
in debates where you need to find those flaws in reasoning,
Gotcha.
and in business meetings when you're assessing proposals or data.
Right.
So it's a much more discerning type of listening.
Yeah, I'm really trying to understand not just what they're saying, but if it makes sense.
You are.
If it's valid.
Exactly.
If they're using, good data and good sources.
You got it.
So in that type of listening, you should be thinking about things like, does this person's argument actually hold up? Or is there evidence to support what they're saying?
Yeah. Is this logically sound?
Yes, you're actively evaluating the content.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we have selective listening,
Uh-oh.
which, can be...
It sounds like maybe one to avoid.
It can be.
Yeah.
Selective listening is when you intentionally focus on only certain parts of the conversation
Okay.
and ignore the rest.
Right.
While it might seem efficient in some situations, it carries a high risk of you misunderstanding the overall message.
Right.
The example in our research of a student only hearing the parts of the teacher's instructions they like
Right.
is a classic one.
Yeah.
It often leads to incomplete work or missed expectations.
Yeah. I can see how that would backfire.
It definitely can.
Okay. And then the final one, appreciative listening. This one sounds like the fun one.
This is the fun one.
Yeah.
Appreciative listening is simply you listening for pleasure.
Okay.
Think about you listening to music,
Yeah.
appreciating the melody, the harmony,
Right.
tuning into a podcast and getting lost in the story,
Mm-hmm.
or you're enjoying a friend's humorous anecdote.
Okay.
The primary goal here for you is the positive experience of listening itself.
Okay, that gives us a really good overview of the 5 different types of listening.
It does.
Active, empathic, critical, selective, appreciative.
Yes.
Great.
You got it.
But why does any of this matter?
Yeah.
Why should I care about this?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Why should you be a better listener?
Yeah.
Well, the benefits ripple across so many areas of your life.
Okay.
For you, the first one is stronger relationships.
Okay.
When you truly listen to someone,
Yeah.
it builds trust.
Right.
It makes them feel valued, heard.
It makes them feel seen.
Yes. Whether it's with your family, your friends, your colleagues,
Right.
that feeling of being listened to
Yeah.
creates much deeper connections.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a lot more likely to open up to someone.
Right.
If I feel like they're really listening to me.
Absolutely.
And I think that's true in all sorts of relationships, romantic relationships, work relationships.
It is.
Family relationships.
Yes.
Yeah.
The second benefit is better learning.
Okay.
Think about you being in a lecture or a training session at work.
Yeah.
Effective listening helps you absorb that information more readily.
Okay.
That leads to the third benefit, more effective communication overall.
Okay.
Listening is half of the communication equation.
Right.
If you're not listening well,
Right.
you are almost guaranteed to misunderstand messages,
Oh, yeah.
which can lead to confusion, errors, even conflict
Oh, for sure.
in your interactions.
Yeah. Which brings us to number 4,
Yes.
conflict resolution.
Conflict resolution.
I can see how, being a good listener
Yeah,
would be a game changer in an argument
absolutely.
or some kind of disagreement with somebody.
When you actively listen during a disagreement,
Yeah.
you're better able to understand the other person's perspective.
Even if I don't agree with it.
Yes, even if you don't agree with it.
Yeah.
It can help de-escalate tensions, facilitate finding some common ground,
Okay.
and ultimately lead to more peaceful resolutions for you.
So I'm not just waiting to talk. I'm
No.
actually trying to understand what they're saying.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then finally, personal growth. By you consciously listening to all those different perspectives,
Okay.
people from different backgrounds,
Right.
maybe different opinions than your own,
Right.
you expand your own knowledge,
Yeah.
you challenge your preconceived notions,
Right.
and you ultimately grow.
As a person.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
right. Right.
But how do I actually put these things into practice in my daily life?
Well, our research gives us some excellent practical advice for you.
Okay, Amy.
The first step is for you to consciously give your full attention.
Oh, okay.
What does that look like? Minimizing those distractions,
Right.
putting your phone away, turning off those notifications, making eye contact with the speaker,
Right.
and generally being present.
Being there in the moment.
Yes. Be patient. Resist that urge to interrupt.
That's a hard one.
It is.
Yeah.
Let the speaker finish their thoughts
Right.
before you jump in,
Yeah.
pausing briefly before you respond.
Right.
Also signals to the other person that you've absorbed what they said.
Yeah, not just waiting to talk.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's a tough one for me sometimes.
Me too. I get so excited.
Yeah.
So another one is you managing your emotions while listening.
Okay.
It's vital to try and control your emotional reactions, especially if you disagree with
Well.
what's being said.
Stay calm and listen.
Yes, stay calm, listen fully before you respond.
And then finally, a very practical tip for you.
Okay.
Take notes if necessary.
Okay.
Lectures, business meetings, any context where you're retaining that specific information.
Right.
Note-taking can help you stay focused
Okay.
and then provide a reference point later.
Makes sense.
So it's a combination
Yeah.
of mindset and techniques
Right.
that can really elevate your listening skills.
So we talked about all the different types of listening.
We did.
We talked about why it's important.
Yes.
And we even touched on some things we can do to be better at it.
Right.
So as you go about your day-to-day, I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
The next time you have a conversation with somebody, consciously try to apply just one or two of the techniques that we talked about today.
I love it.
Maybe it's making better eye contact. Maybe it's asking more of those open-ended questions.
Yes.
Or just pausing before you respond.
Right.
And just see what happens. Notice what's different.
I love that.
How much better do you understand the other person?
Yes.
How are they responding to you differently?
That's great.
I think you'll be surprised. It really is all about the art of listening
It is.
and unlocking that deeper understanding and stronger connection in your life.
Thank you for tuning in to English with Rose. Until next time, take care and goodbye.